Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next comment or question comes from Big J Beats. And this is in response to the Ensoniq EPS 16, the Fuses Restoration Part 2, a video I did in June 22. And I'll be brutally honest and say I haven't done an awful lot more with that EPS since then. It's been in storage pretty much for probably a year now, waiting for me to get round to doing the next part of the restoration on it. Anyway, BJ Beats writes, "Hi, weird question, but could you help me? I'm trying to fix my EPS 16 because for some reason the left and right inputs don't work. But they did yesterday." Oh yeah. Okay, I know nothing about fixing gear. And this is actually my first synth stroke keyboard sampler ever. Thanks in advance, and any help would be much appreciated. Oh god, this is a doozy question. It worked yesterday, but it doesn't work today. What the hell is going on? Okay, I actually have corresponding with BJ Beats separately. So I haven't gone into the detail of various conversations that have gone on because it's kind of irrelevant to this particular response. But here are some generic pointers. And I get asked all the time if I can help fix your equipment. And I'm always happy to help. You know, don't get me wrong, this channel was set up for exactly that kind of purpose. If I've had to go and look something up, you've got to go and look something up. And if I can impart my knowledge in a video format that tells you how to do it, then all the better. I'm always happy to impart my knowledge on this because, you know, the agents that used to fix this legacy tech, they're all kind of disappearing off the scene now. They're retiring. They don't want to do it anymore. There's not really enough money in synth repair, to be honest. Although, you know, us keyboard players would complain like merry hell when you have to put something into a repair shop and they charge you £80 an hour. But at the end of the day, guys, you know, the reality is your synth tech still has to earn a living. Like you have to earn a living gigging with your keyboard or your band or whatever it happens to be, they have to earn a living repairing them. So, you know, you shouldn't begrudge them charging you 80 quid an hour. Just bear that in mind. However, queries like this particular query are really quite hard to diagnose. And it could be a heap of things that are causing the problem here. So it's really difficult to supply an exact answer, which I think a lot of people, when they correspond with me, are expecting me to just say, it's dumph, right? It doesn't work like that because there could be so many things that are impacting on why your synth is behaving the way it does. So what I normally do is I normally undertake a series of steps that I might undertake myself to try and get to the root of the problem. Now, you have to remember that some of these instruments, and I used the word fettled, okay, by the previous owner. And that's kind of a polite way of making the point here. You have no idea what somebody has done prior to you acquiring this legacy piece of tech, this legacy instrument. I've seen machines where boards have been bridged to install a modification. Circuit tracks have been intentionally broken Yes, I say that. For no obvious reason. Damage from leaky capacitors or batteries, or the part could simply have just worn out. Remember, some of these 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s synthesizers are getting on a bit. And also, you have to remember that some of the builds didn't necessarily use the best components that were available at the time. Although, honestly, this is normally caused by something else. You tend to not find worn out pieces. You tend to find other things are impacting or causing something to fail. A common problem on these old instruments is the power supply not producing the correct voltages. That's a real common problem on legacy tech. So if it says plus or minus 12, are you actually getting plus or minus 12 under load? And if you're not, then pound to a penny, your power supply is failing. And it could be that capacitors have failed, it could be the voltage regulators are failing, having to work overtime because other parts of the power circuit have failed. So that's one of the biggest, and it can cause all kinds of damage. You might not think supplying an undervoltage would cause a problem, but it can. Okay, not having the correct voltages on the rails on your synthesizer can cause real problems. I suppose what I'm trying to say here is that I do not confess to being a service tech. I never have. I know where my limits are, and I know at which point do I turn around and say, I can't fix this. I'll have to go and find somebody who can. Bear that in mind, right? I know where my limits are. I do have a full-time job. I can't pay for my lifestyle, what lifestyle it is, servicing and playing these things and running a YouTube channel. Doesn't happen that way. Yes, I'd love for people to sponsor the channel using Patreon. I'd love to get more views on the YouTube channel, but we are where we are. This is reality. So, that's kind of where I am from a personal perspective. And the revenue from the YouTube channel really just covers running costs of the YouTube channel and the associated website, which at the moment is falling into needs a bit of TLC, if I'm brutally honest. But I remember somebody saying the other day that if every subscriber were to give me $1 a month, then they could quit their day job. That's very interesting, isn't it? If you think, some of these channels that have 1 million subscribers, $1 a month, that's $1 million a month. Interesting stuff. Nice, really, isn't it? A nice consideration, but in reality, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, I just wanted to try and reset expectations because, I know in the best will in the world says I'd love to help you. And I really would love to help you. But reality is, I can't necessarily help everyone. I do for people that I've got close to in terms of correspondence and talking to, etc. Yes, I do the odd repair for them, but it's on the expectation that I'm not going to do it tomorrow. It may take several months for me to get round to actually doing the repair. Okay? Just wanted to make sure that was kind of clear.